Now that this mud is laid down, remember we did the blending with our hand on the edge, now I'm able to come inside where the mud is a little thicker and I can start rounding it out, more reminiscent of the boulder. This will be a smoother finish, but with my hand, I'm able to take away a lot of the trowel marks and I'm able to make it more round and bouldery looking, which is what our geology is. Basically, we're trying to match our geology, and this is how we're doing it. Now, some areas are too mushy, other areas are just right. But you can see all the little imperfections and little trowel marks. These are things that I don't want. Now, on other textures, that's a good thing, and I would capitalize on those. But for this particular texture, we don't want that. We just want to round everything out. Now, once I get it all rounded out and looking sexy, very pretty, we're going to put a light wash on it because I want to expose the aggregate because I'm trying to feather this into that. This is a little more aggressive, a little more bumpy, but down here we're a little closer to the people and we want to make it a little more people friendly. So like ridges like that, you know, I'm going to erase those. And again, guys, just using your hands, your most versatile tool, using your hands. There are some textures you'll find that you may or may not be asked to do, but a lot of them, trowels aren't even required. It's just all done with hands because it's a very organic, natural feel. Trowels are nice, they have their place, but it's not like you have to use them everywhere. I've seen entire jobs done by hand, turning out fabulous. Now the only thing that you may have to deal with is as I'm moving my hand, I may inadvertently create some hand marks, things like that, but they'll be easily fixed when we apply a light coat of water. And I'll show you that in a few moments. Just let me finish rounding her out and giving her that sexy look. So while we're talking about the hands being a versatile tool, you also have to consider what gloves you put your hands into. For instance, this glove has a texture tool, so you have to consider that different gloves are going to yield different textures. This is a very smooth, kind of like a rubberized texture. But I mean, all kinds of different gloves. There's latex gloves. So again, as a rock guy, you're always thinking about the texture and trying to remember how I did that. And let's say you're texturing this, you've got a different glove on, and it's not giving you what you want. That's fine. Change it up, do something different. But don't forget the fact that that glove gave you a certain texture, and it may be applicable on a different job for a different geology in a different place. So you can see the texture, you can see the sand exposed, and all we got to do is just come back and make some fine-tune adjustments. And that's what we're looking for. So this area, which was once very chattery and noisy, is now a little more smoother and a little more people-friendly. So we got a lot of the smoothness. We washed it with the hose, and now we're just adding a little of the texture so that we get a nice subtle blend from the very aggressive texture down into this smoother stuff. So if it's too abrupt of a change, like very aggressive, then all of a sudden we got this, then I kind of just subtly fade out my aggressive texture into the looser, nicer stuff here. Then I've got a nice blend. And that's all we're looking for, you know.